Hey, good morning, everybody. I got some things here I'd like to share with y'all. I'm gonna try to make it fast, but hopefully it won't be too long. I was sitting here and I was studying and I was trying to get things prepared and I was reading and I was reading, like I said last week, I've been reading a lot of Paul's letters, and I was just sitting here thinking, what does God want me to? What is God showing me? What do we need to talk about this week? What is something that could touch us all? And I asked God to speak to me, and I was sitting here and I kind of looked up, and I've got two dogs over here, and I seen some dualities between them and us as Christians. We got a new pup from some friends of ours, and it's just an awesome dog. It's just an awesome pup, full of energy, rambunctious, ready to go. And then we have our other dog. She's 3. And as I sit here and I'm talking to y'all, the puppy is chewing on a tennis ball and bouncing around, and the other one is dead asleep, and they're right beside each other. And I get to thinking about that. As Christians, what are we? Are we the pups or are we the old dogs? Do we get complacent? And I think a lot of times we do. I think just like the similarities between these two that I'm talking about, this pup and this dog here, just like that I'm talking about is, with the pup, when we're new Christians, we're excited, we're eager, we're ready to go. We want to do whatever we can to please God. We're ready for that. It doesn't matter if there's treats involved. It doesn't matter if there's benefits. It doesn't matter whatever's coming. We're ready to do whatever He wants us to do, whenever He wants us to do it. And when we become Christians, and we've been Christians for a long time, it's never a bed of roses. God never promised a rose garden. That's not what it says, And like the old dog we have, she still wants to please us, and we still want to please God once we've been in our Christian walk. But a lot of times we get tired, we get wore down, things aren't exactly what we need, life isn't going the way we want it, we're sick. I've struggled with that myself. I've kind of gotten complacent, if I'm being honest, about some things this last couple of weeks. I've been sick, I haven't been myself. So I've kind of let that fire burn out, and I've prayed about that, and I've been praying about that this morning, and I think this is what God's telling us as Christians. We have to keep that fire. We have to be ready to do anything. And a lot of times, we get complacent with our faith. We let things. We don't want to jump out into any new ministries. We don't want to help because we don't really know. Is it really going to matter? A lot of times we get tired of trying because we feel like this world isn't good enough. We feel like things suck and people don't care, and people in the church aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. Why should I do what I'm supposed to be doing? I do it and nothing happens, but that's not how it is. People get complacent, and we get complacent as Christians. We even try distances ourselves. A lot of times the older dog we got, she'll go lay down in our back bedroom, and then the pup will be up here, and she's trying to get away from him because she doesn't want that. She doesn't want to hear that. The dog wants to do anything he can to please us and do whatever we want to do. Well, the other one wants to go, and I still want to please y'all, but I'm kind of tired right now. I don't really feel good. I'm a little older. I kind of see things for a little bit more for what they are. And is that where we're at? And I couldn't shake that because I feel like a lot of times that's what we do. I feel like that's a lot of times where we're at. And so I was praying and I was trying to figure out, which dog am I? Am I the pup or am I the old dog? And I don't want to be the old dog. I want to be the pup. And it's not always going to be that way. That feel-good feeling isn't about what Christian is. Being a Christian doesn't mean that it feels good to raise your hands and worship. That's not it. That is great, and that is the Spirit. But that's not what it all is. Being a Christian is sharing the good news with others and bringing others to Christ, and not being complacent. And so I was reading in Zephaniah, which, to be honest with you, up until a few months ago, I didn't really know much about Zephaniah. Didn't really even follow the book. I don't even know if I have read it. If I did, I scanned through it. And I just keep finding gems and gems and gems in it. And anyway, Zephaniah was a prophet, and he wrote this to shake the people to the core and to get them out of, get this complacency. And so this is what he wrote them. And in Zephaniah 1:12, he says, I will search with lanterns in Jerusalem's darkest corners to punish those who sit complacent in their sins. And so I didn't know if complacency, if this is where it was at. But I've spoke before about how God gives us confirmation about what He's telling us. Well, I've got a little side note out here, and it says, are we complacent with our own lives? And so that's where I'm at. Are we complacent with our own lives? To me, that was confirmation that as a society and as us, anybody who's watching this video, for me, for us, are we complacent with our lives? Are we complacent with our spiritual walk? And if so, we need to shake that and we need to get out of that. How, you may ask? I'm glad you asked, because it's the motto, the kind of the deal that we go by in the Oilfield Gospel group. If you follow it, kind of the verse that we follow is James 4:8. And that's how we're going to get out of this. That's how we're going to shake this complacency. And that's how we're going to begin to do things that God wants us to do. And that's how we're going to get out of this slump. Remember, I told y'all earlier in this video that I've kind of felt sorry for myself. I haven't felt good. Things haven't been going good. I kind of got complacent with my spiritual walk. You know, I felt good where I was at. But, you know, I prayed to God, and I've been praying hard, and I've been praying, and I've been praying. And you know what that is? I've come closer to God. And that's where our answer is. It's in James 4:8. It says, come close to God, and God will come close to you. And that's where it is. That's our deal. God's never left us. God's never changed. God hasn't changed one bit. Only we have. We've got salty. We've become the old pup. We've let our fire die out. But the more we come to God, the more that fire is going to requint. It's just going to get stronger and stronger. It may not feel like it at first. It's not a feel-good fairy tale. That's not what being a Christian is about. But it's about being real with God and being real with other people. God's going to give us the strength to do the things He wants us to do. We're not always going to feel good. But the more we come closer to God, God will come close to us. Keep praying for each other. Pray for complacency for not only our lives, but our fellow brothers and sisters too. Hope everybody has a good week. Keep praying for each other, and I'll talk to y'all next week.